Hello friends, and also hello enemies! Today we will be exploring two Marvel Legends figures, the Deadpool and Wolverine. As you can see, Wolverine's package has been smashed a little bit. I don't think he would care for that, or maybe he would. We've got kind of unique boxes for these. It's in the typical Marvel Legends format, but we get some cool Deadpool touches like this hand-scrawled note. In the background you will see crayon drawings, some saucy portraits on the side, bios on the back, and a neat Deadpool and Wolverine logo up top. But I don't care about the boxes so much as what lies within, so let's take a look at that. I like what they did with the backing for these. I like these cute little illustrations. Deadpool riding a unicorn. That's my greatest wish as well. And this is so cute. Best Bubs. Adorable. Alright, let's look at our boys. Wolverine already has dog fur on him because there's no escape. There's no escape from the dog fur in this home. I have some on me right now too. First thing I notice is the texture. The texture on these is fantastic, at least for the costume parts, which 100% of Deadpool is the costume and 95% of Wolverine is the costume. That's just another way of saying that the textures are great throughout the figures. Got that carbon fiber kind of Kevlar texture, but then there are smooth bits like on the shoulders, on Wolverine's gauntlets. Just a nice visual feast. And I don't really have any hardcore opinions on Wolverine's costume. I know some people do, but I like this one. I like the mix of yellow and blue. There's a lot of visual interest, but it's not clashing. I think Deadpool's costume is much the same, but he's always had more or less the same costume. I mean, obviously he's had several different iterations of costume, but it's always been, you know, something like this. Classic red and black, except for when he's with X-Force or whatever, and then he's silver and black. Or if he's in that one X-Men movie and he's just a completely different thing that has no mouth. That's right, I saw that movie. These sculpts are great. Lots of tiny little details, and they're painted really nicely too, which Marvel Legends sometimes can be a hit or a miss with the paint, but I'm not noticing any problems. You've got a lot of tiny little gold accents, tiny little Deadpool logo on his belt, little clasps on the pouches there. Of course, you've got to have pouches. We miss the paint a little bit when it comes to the sheaths and the guns, and maybe I would have liked a little bit of paint on the pouches themselves, but yeah, he looks really good. I do notice a tiny bit of black bleeding into the red, but that doesn't bother me at all. Fantastic looking figure. We needed a Deadpool. The only other Deadpool that I had was from, oh man, years and years ago, and I forget what company made it, but it's much bigger than this one. So it's nice to have a Deadpool in scale with the rest of the Marvel Legends crew. Let's look at Wolverine. I'm a huge Deadpool fan. This is going to sound really lame. Like, I was a fan of Deadpool before he even became popular, which is kind of funny because I mean, if you guys watch the channel, I don't really follow X-Men or a lot of the Marvel comics that much, but I was really big into Deadpool a while back for a long time. So always been a Deadpool fan, even before he got popular, before the movies and everything. Not so much of a Wolverine fan, not so much of an X-Men fan. Not to say it's not good, it wasn't something I really followed. But I do enjoy this Wolverine figure, and I really loved their dynamic in the movie. Great looking Wolverine head. I mean, you can tell it's Hugh Jackman under there. Nicely applied scruff. Great head wings. Again, with those tiny details. Some dots of silver, little X logo, some panel lining. Yeah, they did a great job. Fantastic boots. Once again, I would love to have these boots. You've got the claws. Snicked. Oh, we didn't check out the butt situation. Let's look at the butt situation with these two. No butts to speak of. Honestly, no butts. I mean, it makes sense. These are movie figures. The comic book figures I find to have much more exaggerated anatomy in men and women, especially in the posterior region in some cases, but these butts are what you'd expect for butts that are covered by costume, probably have some padding in there not to make them too lewd. Deadpool's looking real flat though. At least Wolverine has some cake. Deadpool has no cake to speak of, and that can't be right. He don't even have a muffin. So I am guessing that the articulation for these two are going to be pretty much the same. Great thing about not having hair in the way is that the head could move all sorts of directions. Got a pretty big shoulder joint, bicep swivel, double elbow, swivel, and up and down on the wrist. You've got a nice crunch here. It's a little constrained by this strap, and then when you push him back, his sheaths kind of bend unrealistically. You also get a twist there. It's a little bit hampered by that belt. Just a little. Leg up, to the side. Gun is bent unrealistically. I don't think a gun would do that in real life unless you've got a very special gun. Double knee. Very good looking knee joint. Rock. And swivel on the ankle. I'm sure that Wolverine's going to be the same. Wolverine also gets kind of a neck joint. It's not really doing much though, but it's there. Up. The shoulder pad is rubbery so it doesn't get in the way. He gets a bicep swivel, of course. Double elbow. Got a little bit of plastic hanging off of that. Swivel and flex on the wrist, of course. Another crunch. Another twist. He twists a lot easier than Deadpool because he's got nothing constraining him. What a feeling. Up, out, and back. These guys can arc their legs out back pretty well because they don't have any butts to speak of. It's a great thing about not having a butt. He's got a thigh swivel. I think I forgot to check if Deadpool has a thigh swivel. He does. Very cleverly hidden by these holster straps. Another great kneecap. Ooh, this knee is moving very easily. These are double knees, but the leg is moving so easily, and then the kneecap does not want to follow, really. Of course, I say that, and then it does it. But it wasn't before. You gotta trust me on that. And of course, rocker and up and down on the ankle. This leg on Wolverine is pretty loose. It was loose already, but ever since I moved it, it just really wants to slip around. So hopefully I can still get him to stand up. Deadpool, I'm not having any problems with, but he might fix that for me soon. So of course, that is not all you get, and we will move on to accessories. So for Wolverine, you get an unmasked Hugh Jackman head, and I think the likeness is really great on that. Really cool hair sculpt, very dynamic. Piercing eyes, he's got a far-off stare. Excellent beard work. He's got semi-mutton chops. Yeah, that looks just fantastic. Great deco, great sculpt, great hair. Unfortunately, we don't get a separate head sculpt for Deadpool. We don't get a messed up Ryan Reynolds head. I think that would have been really funny, especially if we had him with his stapled on toupee. I think that would have been cool. I do wonder if it's like licensing or something that makes it so we only get an unmasked Wolverine head sculpt and not Wade. Wolverine will also come with an extra pair of hands without the claws extended. You've got a punchy hand and a grasping hand. It looks like it could be a trigger finger hand, or it could be a holding things hand. It's dynamic in that way. So for Deadpool, you also get some hands. He'll come with the holding things hands for his katanas and knives, but he'll also come with 2 trigger fingers. He gets his 2 katanas, very minimal paint on those, and he gets baby knife. In addition to those, he also comes with 2 guns already in their holsters, which was a cool surprise to me. It's just like an extra little thing, so you can tuck baby knife into the leg holster, slip these bad boys into their sheaths. They fit pretty well. The only thing is, and this is common for Marvel Legends, but he doesn't come with any relaxed hands, so he's always got to be doing something or holding something. Or you can make him look like he's doing a cat meow. Eh, you know. Eh. So let's put on the alternate head for him. See what that's all about. It looks a little big, so we'll see if it looks more natural on his body. Yeah, that's not bad. It does still look a little big to me, but it's not egregious at all. I think just a tad bit smaller and it would have been better. Too small might be worse than too big, I don't know, when it comes to cranium size. Cranium size. No problem switching out the head and the hands. On Deadpool though, you need to watch out because this little black wrist strap or whatever, I guess it's supposed to be part of the gloves, does come off. It's a separate piece. So just beware. Beware of that. Because I can see this getting lost very easily. Then your Deadpool wouldn't look right. When does he ever make them hold hands? It's about as close as you're going to get. So I do have some comparisons. Here is Mezco, Daredevil. He scales pretty well. Of course, he's a little bit beefier and he's got real clothes on. Whereas these guys are just plastic. But if that doesn't bother you, pop them in a display together, why don't you? Here we have X-Men the movie, Mystique. She, to me, looks very small against them, even for a small woman. This is an older figure. They've revamped some things since then. Not completely out of place. And we have Professor X from Logan. And that's another Marvel legend. And to accompany him is Logan himself. So we got two Jackmans. They're both angry. They're both angsty. This one is yelling and is spattered with blood. This one's a little bit calmer, and he's very clean. So all in all, two fantastic figures. They look great. I'm pretty pleased with the accessories. I do wish that we had an unmasked Deadpool head, but to be honest, I probably would never put it on. I just really love how he looks with the mask. Whereas Wolverine is pretty, there's something, well, inherently charming about Hugh Jackman, but there's something charming about the unmasked head on this suited body that I like. I think I like it better than the masked head, but it's still a fantastic head. So that is all for me this time. I hope you guys enjoyed. As always, likes and subscribes are very much appreciated. Comments are more than welcome. And I will see you guys on the next one.